Hey everybody. So another thing I hear about from other single dad is just not having time for myself. And trust me, I understand this. So we wake up, we get the kids ready, we work, we cook, we clean, and then we just repeat it. And all this takes a lot of time. All of it, right? The commute, working from 9 to 5, and then dealing with the kids. And the kids just always want our attention all the time. It's just we feel like we don't have time for ourselves. So that was my life. Every day felt like I was in survival mode because I was taking care of two young kids for the most part. I was cooking them dinner, I was making them breakfast, I was getting them ready for school and picking them up. I was putting them to bed, and bedtime was absolutely difficult because the kids were still trying to learn how to sleep on their own. So it was just a lot of things that I was trying to accomplish. I would be so tired that I would crash at nighttime and I would just scroll on my phone or play video games just to escape. And honestly, that's not productive. So I knew I needed time for myself, but I just didn't know where to find it. I didn't know the systems yet. I didn't know how to be productive as a single dad yet. I was still learning. What I realized is this: no one is going to give you time. You have to create it. You really have to audit how you're spending your time and what you're doing with it and make the changes. So, who am I and why does this matter? I'm Tony. I've been a single dad for over 3 years now, and as mentioned before, I'm taking care of two young kids. I separated when the kids were 5 and 2, so they were very young. And so in the beginning, I felt very guilty thinking about me time, right? Because I know I had two kids to care of. I know that I had to put my focus on them. I know I had to give them the best life possible. But then that can be detrimental to my thinking when I'm like, I just want to play some games. I just want to watch some movies. I want to go chill with my friends. But I don't have that option most of the time no more, right? Or I do. I feel guilty doing it sometimes. But then I noticed the more I ignore myself, the more impatient, tired, or reactive I became. I started to feel just tired all the time doing everything versus doing anything that I wanted to do, right? And so I made one decision. I was going to build time for myself no matter what. And I think this is a false thinking that we don't have time in a way. We just, it's definitely much more limited, that's for sure. But you'd be surprised that when you audit your time, when you see how you're spending your time, you just got to replace those bad habits or bad things you're doing that's unproductive and replace it with good habits. So it's not just for me, but I'm doing this for the kids too, because downtime, when the kids are asleep, I don't want to watch TVs or play games, or I prefer not to. I prefer to stay very productive or do something. So I stopped waiting for free time to appear. I used to think I rest when things slow down. And as we know, usually things don't ever slow down. In fact, as the kids get older, I feel like I have to do more things with them. And as I mentioned, yeah, nothing ever slows down. So I got to flip it. I started blocking time for myself like it was a job. Every Sunday, I spend an hour or two just planning the rest of the week from Monday through Sunday, just understanding, okay, how am I going to spend my time? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Okay, maybe I could plan at least 1 hour of free time to watch TV or play games. But everything else needs to be productive. It needs to be with the kids. It needs to be something growth oriented. So even if it's just 20 minutes, I treat it like a meeting I can't cancel. And that's the thing when you use a Google Calendar and you start time blocking it, you see that spot as okay, that's the only task I'm going to do that I plan for this specific time. So example, I added one 30-minute block on my calendar each day that says quick reset, and I didn't negotiate with it. So I do something called power nap, or I take the time in the middle of the day to just relax and do something. So for example, if I'm working from 9 to 5 and I have a lunch break at 12 o'clock, I'm going to use that lunch break, get away from everybody, eat lunch, and just be by myself and just relax for 30 to an hour. Just that's it. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to relax, enjoy my lunch, and just be free, even from technology. Because technology, it could get you into a rabbit hole of negative content. I will even avoid the phone as well. So I replace escaped habits with real recovery. So at first, my free time was just me laying in my bed and scrolling my phone. And the problem with that, of course, is that you will basically doom scroll. You'll be scrolling constantly nonstop to these dopamine hits that you get from the phone, and you won't put it down. That's the problem with these damn addictive phone. So I felt even more drained afterwards. I will feel guilty wasting my time. I will feel even tired. And even when you're laying in bed and you look at the phone, even when you're absolutely tired and your eyes are falling asleep, you still like using the phone and scrolling through it, which is crazy how addictive these things can be. So I made a list of what actually made me feel better. I started stretching. I started journaling. I started listening to silence. I started taking walks outside. I think you'd be surprised at how powerful it is just to take a 10-minute walk outside in the sun. I definitely recommend that. So that became my new recovery, not escape, but like a real reset. So example, I stopped watching YouTube at night and started doing 5-minute breathing exercises. My sleep improved and my mornings got much better. So everybody knows that it's important to not use TV or the screens before bedtime because it messes up with your sleep. I started replacing that with reading. I even got a Kindle where it acts as a paper type of reading. So like the screen doesn't really affect my sleeping. And I just use that before I go to sleep now. It just makes it so much easier to fall asleep. So I definitely recommend not watching screen at nighttime. I train my kids to respect my time. So this is going to be one of the most difficult things to do because the kids just always want your attention, right? So I used to feel bad asking for space because, as mentioned, my kids are young, and so they always want my attention and they want to play with their dad, and so I understand it. But then I'm just like, okay, kids, I got stuff to do too. I want to accomplish. I want to work on my business. I want to create some content. I want to do stuff too, and so I'm teaching them about boundaries. I'm teaching them about how to stay busy, like doing art or drawing or playing with each other because they're siblings and stuff like that. Like they could find ways to play by themselves without always going for me for playtime. So, but I realized teaching them boundaries was part of teaching them respect. They need to learn how to give their dad space. Like they need to learn how to give me time alone. And what's so cool is like my older kid, she knows this now, and like she just every time she sees me working or doing stuff, she closes my door. How cool is that? So now I say, I'm going to sit here quietly for 15 minutes in my room. You don't need to be quiet, but I need my space. So sometimes they do stay in the same room with me because they just want to be near me, but they stay quiet while I focus and have my earphones on and start working. So it didn't work perfectly right away, but it worked over time. This takes a lot of skills for the kids to learn, and it's going to take time, so just keep at it. Now they understand that dad having space helps the whole house stay calm. So when they realize that after I complete my task, then I could go play with them. That's what they understand now. So I combine me time with everyday tasks. So I definitely believe in stacking habits. So if you're trying to stack a good habit, do something that you're already doing. So I journal while the kids eat breakfast, right? Boom, 2 birds with 1 stone. I stretch while they read or draw. I take deep breath while folding laundry. If there's positive habits you're trying to do, just try to do it on top of other things you're already doing. So I found space in the cracks instead of waiting for a perfect opening that never came. So you deserve time, not just tasks. You're not just a machine that runs your household, right? You got to take care of yourself. I understand the need to want to play game and watch TV. So do schedule that time for yourself, but don't overdo it. You are a human being who needs energy, space, and peace. Taking time for yourself is not selfish, it's leadership. So I definitely recommend you spacing those out. When you protect your time, you protect your patient, your health, and your connection with your kids. Highly recommend using Google Calendar once again and really blocking out your time. You deserve that, and they deserve the best version of you that has it. So what to do next? If this helped you as a single dad, please tap the like button so I know it hits home. Subscribe for more videos if it helped you build your life. And leave a comment below. Tell me one thing you're going to make a change this week or just questions that you're stuck on. I would love to help you out. And then check out this next video if it will help you stop living in survival mode and just feel more in control every day. So once again, my name is Tony. All the best and see you in the next video.